Congressman Bob Good with your weekly Good News from Washington. And last night we had the President's State of the Union address, and my hope was the President would actually apologize to the country for the harm that he has caused and announce that he's reversing his policies, specifically the policies that have plunged us some $35 trillion into debt and with a $200 billion monthly deficit, which has caused the massive inflation that Americans are suffering under, and also apologize for the border crisis that he has intentionally created, but instead he seems to be doubling down on his policies and trying to blame Republicans for the border invasion that he created. I had as my guest last night at the State of the Union Ryan Baumberger, who is a courageous pro-life warrior who has a wonderful personal life story of how he was conceived through rape, and his mother, however, put him up for adoption, chose life, and now he's the proud parent of several children and a successful warrior for the pro-life cause. We this week unfortunately passed a continuing resolution, yet another continuing resolution, actually a spending bill that will fund part of the government, unfortunately at the Pelosi-Schumer spending levels plus $70 billion, and keep in place the harmful policies that the Democrats had when they were last in control of Congress and passed that omnibus in December of 2022. I voted against this because it doesn't secure the border and it actually increases spending instead of reducing it. It also included nearly 7,000 earmarks for about $13 billion, and earmarks are more pork barrel spending that members of Congress can take back to their district, but it's also, earmarks are also used to buy votes. In other words, to help pass these trillion-dollar bills, they buy members of Congress's votes by giving them earmarks back in their district, and I'm fighting to end that practice. I led this week an Israel resolution calling on Congress to express our support for Israel and calling on the Biden administration to end their calls for a ceasefire, for a two-state solution within Israel's borders, and to end funding for Palestinian organizations that support Hamas. In my Ed and Workforce Committee, we focused this week on diversity, equity, and inclusion on college campuses and how colleges have spent just millions of dollars hiring dozens of diversity, equity, inclusion officers who are paid very high salaries and provide no real benefit for their college campuses except to further divide their students based on race. Finally, I'm proud to let you know that our Budget Committee passed a 10-year balanced budget, first time that's happened in a long time, that we hope to bring to the floor for a vote. We've got to provide a roadmap for confronting our spending, confronting our debt, and bringing our budget into balance. Thank you for the privilege of representing you in Virginia's 5th District.